I think that if Keith were held to the same standard as you or I, that this motion would have been granted.
A former Fresno police deputy chief facing another loss in court. A federal judge has denied Keith Foster a new trial after he was convicted of drug trafficking. Hey there, good evening. I'm Evan Onstein.
And I'm Stephanie Berugi, and thank you for joining us. We continue our coverage tonight. Keith Foster's attorney had asked to get the convictions tossed out or possibly for a new trial, but a judge today ruled out both of those options.
Our Oscar Maciel live from downtown Fresno tonight. So, Oscar, what is next for Foster?
Next would be sentencing. That's expected on November 13th. And there's still legal avenues available for Foster, but experts say those options are quickly dwindling. Keith Foster, former Fresno police deputy chief, surrounded by family Monday as he appeared in court facing yet another loss. Foster was convicted in May of conspiracy to distribute heroin and marijuana. On Monday, hoping to have those convictions overturned.
As you can imagine, he's very disappointed by the outcome.
His attorney, Michael McNeely, addressing the decision by federal judge Anthony Ishii to uphold the two conspiracy convictions.
Maybe there was a conversation, maybe Keith was aware of conversations, but the point is that's not enough.
McNeely claims there wasn't enough evidence to convict Foster and that his trial lawyer, Marshall Hodgkins, was ineffective. Legal experts say that's a hard argument to win.
The better the attorney that you had at the lower court level, the more difficult it is to get the appeal.
Legal analyst David Mugridge says Foster's former lawyer did everything he could, but the evidence hasn't changed and the claim of an unfair trial due to Foster's portrayal in the media doesn't hold water.
The appellate court really could care less.
McNeely disagrees and says Foster is also facing unfair treatment for being a police officer.
If Keith were held to the same standard as you or I, that this motion would have been granted.
Reports vary on how much time Foster could be looking at behind bars. Previous reports have him looking at up to 25 years. McNeely says today that number is more likely 6 to 8 years. Despite overwhelming odds, Mugridge says Foster can appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court in San Francisco or
file for a petition with the United States Supreme Court, and that is rarely granted.
But he expects Foster to surrender to authorities at his sentencing in November. McNeely can delay sentencing, but at this point he says he has no plans to delay, only to appeal. In downtown Fresno, Oscar Maciel, KC24, Local News that Matters.
Oscar, thank you. Now